Welcome to Think Fearless with Alex E. Miller. Today's topic is single mothers. We were able to sit down with a few single mothers to hear their stories, their how-to on how they're able to maintain having a life of their own while getting their little one's life started off on the right track at the same time. Without any further ado, we're going to get right to the footage of those conversations. So, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate your company. If you don't mind letting the world know your name and how long you've been a single mother.
My name is Natalie Pitcher, and I've been a single mother for 2.5 years.
Okay, all right. So what does Natalie Pitcher do for a living?
For a living? Well, I am an actress. I am a photographer. I own my own photography company, actually.
Okay.
And then I also just started working in the e-commerce fulfillment area. So, a lot.
Gotcha. So acting. What made you get into that? That seems to be such a tough field, you know, for someone to get into.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for 18 years.
Oh.
So I started out in theater, and I did that for many, many years. And then I found my love for film and television back in, I'd say, 2011, 2012.
Okay.
So, been a little bit now.
Gotcha. And the photography, that's something, you know, when you go on set, you're like, hey, I take pictures too. Like, how does that work?
Sometimes it depends. So if I'm doing a commercial and I'm doing the commercial for a product, then I can slip it in there because a lot of what I do is product photography, and then I do headshots as well because in that way, you know, when I'm on set with other actors, it's very convenient to kind of get my name there as well.
So it's, you know, you're useful in
yeah.
more ways than one there. So what does Natalie Pitcher do for fun without the little one?
Well, I would say acting and photography is fun to me. You know, I love everything about the art. So I also play guitar and sing, and yeah. And then fitness, anything keeping me in shape as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So singing, is that something you ever implement that with the acting? Is that something sometimes you get roles where you play a singer, or have you ever wanted to do that if you haven't?
I've wanted to on the film side of things. I have yet to do a role where I'm acting and singing on film. I have in theater.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little easier to get.
Yeah, so you're like jack of all trades, or?
I guess so.
I guess, yeah. Well, with Natalie Pitcher doing the acting, the photography, as well as the e-commerce, and also the singing, where does Natalie Pitcher find time to be able to maintain that life of her own and get your little one's life started off on the right track?
Well, it's not easy, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
You know, I'm fortunate enough to have 50-50 custody with my ex-husband. So what that looks like is a week on, a week off, and it's all about time management, really.
Gotcha.
You know, I make sacrifices in the ways that, well, a lot of ways, really, when you're a parent. But you know, I find a gym that has daycare so that I can still get my fitness in when I have him.
Okay.
I limit that time so that I still have time with him. I ended up working the third career, the fulfillment side of things. A lot of it due to the fact that, you know, I wanted him to go to a good school, and it's kind of hard to do two career paths that can be any time of day. As you know, I mean, weddings can go late at night. If I were to shoot a wedding, acting could be filming overnight, and I found that, you know, at the end of the day, I want to find a school that is going to teach my son all the things that you know he needs to learn and to grow, and yeah, it's all about time management. It's all about making sure you have your priorities set in place, and ultimately having the child at the forefront of your mind and always the most important thing.
Wow.
So
that's interesting. How aware is your child that his mom is this superwoman? You know, that, you know, she does all these different things here.
Where is he? Well, he's also on the screen and in the photos and the ads.
So he's well aware of this. So he knows everything that's going on. He sees mom here, he sees mom there. I'm pretty sure that's something that is definitely going to be an inspiration for him you know, as she
Yeah.
grows older, to see his mother doing this?
Well, I will say, I took a little bit of a pivot. When I knew that I was pregnant with him, I kind of thought, oh my goodness, this is the end of my career, you know, and it's hard. It's hard for a lot of moms to juggle things like acting specifically, or, you know, especially any sort of artistic field, and being a parent, let alone 3 careers.
Gotcha.
But I decided when I had him that it was far more important for me to follow my dreams and lead by example, and show him that it's more important for him to follow his dreams than to settle for something that's less than what is good enough for him.
Wow.
So that's when I ultimately decided to really push forward and do a lot more in the film and television area of things as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's inspiration for me there. You know, so definitely appreciate that. Is there anything that you brought with you today? I know I you know, mentioned possibly a memento of some sort, or something that, or even if it's a photo or a memory or something. It could be, you know, an inside joke, something that, you know, between you and the little one that really symbolizes your bond, you know, between you guys.
Let's see. Goodness, there's so many things that I don't know.
What do you think he would say? You know, if he says, you know, what makes you think of mommy? What's something that's gonna come to mind if someone asks him that?
Okay, so he is kind of obsessed now with the Beatles.
Really?
And yes, so he, you know, he goes to school and he learns these songs, and, you know, they're about trees and the alphabet and numbers and things, you know, just general things you would learn at school.
Yeah, yeah, at that age, yeah, I remember.
Right. But my kid is the kid who, we're walking through the aisles of the grocery store and he's singing on the top of his lungs, "Come together."
Wow.
And just
so he's not shy at all.
No, he's not. No. I mean, he tells me, actually, sometimes when I'm taking him to school, he doesn't want to go to school. He wants to go on set. He wants to shoot a commercial, or have photos taken for the next ad of whatever department store he's going to shoot now.
Isn't that something?
So, yeah, he's a little star himself.
That's great. That's great. So we got the super mom with the super child. So it's definitely inspiring to hear your story, and we thank you so much. Yeah. And we will be showing a picture of Natalie and the little one as well, so you guys can be introduced. What's his name, by the way?
Avery Liam.
Avery Liam. So remember that name. So thank you again for coming.
Of course.
Really
thank you.
Appreciate that. Great insight from each of our guests here today. If you yourself are a single mother, or you know a single mother that has a story that they wouldn't mind telling, to share some of their insight that can help the rest of the single mothers around the world, go ahead and send us an email. We would love to have you as a guest on our show. That's all we have for today on Think Fearless with Alex E. Miller. As always, they say the world's biggest fear is public speaking. Together, we're going to make the world more comfortable with speaking in public. We're going to leave you today with a performance from myself featuring Lisa Rainey. This is Dear Single Mama.
So when we get the head we get, with everything we go through, mamas need love too, mamas need love too. When we get the head we get, with everything we go through, mamas need love too, mamas need love too.
Coach say he need help with his jump shot. Can he give you a hand packing his lunchbox? The barber say his head need to be combed out. Can he give you a hand picking his clothes out? The teacher say he need help with his homework, but he don't know that you don't even come home first. And by the time you do, and you turn the stove off, you barely finish cooking dinner before you doze off. Cause you got a second job, no second guessing, no you can't be a better mom, can't do a better job. I know you get choked up, cause life is a mouthful, but use your praying hands, girl. God got you. Why ain't asking you to sing a mom? I'm just showing gratitude. You a single mom. Hell, All of the pressure that you've been under, the pleasure's all mine. I'm truly young. Excuse me if I'm out of line, cause no, I don't got none. With God, you can get you a lot done. There's other ways inside besides in between your thighs for men to know where you're coming from. And you be like, it'll be helpful if I can get a day up. But it's stressful, coach, I never play ball. And Mr. Bob, but I know he wanna go along. But it's time consuming, just cut it off. And Mr. Teacher, sorry, I missed the meet. Is there a tutor that can come over this evening? If not, can we reschedule the meet? In my main job, say I get a day off if I can work the weekends. But that's when I catch up on sleeping. And lately, I've been having trouble sleeping. I'm working 3 jobs, apparently, but taking care of him. But who gonna take care of me? Look, I ain't asking if you're single, mama. I'm showing gratitude, you a single mama. Hell, all of the pressure that you've been under, the pleasure's all mine. I'm truly young. Excuse me if I'm out of line, cause no, I don't got none. With God, you can get you a lot done. There's other ways inside besides in between your thighs for men to know where you're coming from.
So when we get the head, we give everything we go through. Mamas need love too. Mamas need love too. When we get the head, we give with everything we go through. Mamas need love too. Mamas need love too.